Hey everyone, it's Brian, your honest mechanic. Today I want to talk to you about some common symptoms that can indicate your vehicle's serpentine belt is failing and needs to be replaced. The serpentine belt, also known as a drive belt, is what drives all those important engine accessories like the alternator, power steering pump, water pump, and air conditioner. It's called serpentine because it snakes around various pulleys as it makes its continuous loop around the engine components. This belt obviously plays a huge role in keeping your vehicle operational. Over years of wear and tear from heat, loads, and just general aging, this rubber belt can eventually crack, become loose, slip on pulleys, or break entirely. Here are the signs of a bad serpentine belt. 1. Squealing noise. One of the classic symptoms that grabs your attention is a loud, high-pitched squeal or squeak from the engine, especially at startup or during tight turns. This shrill noise indicates slippage. The belt isn't gripping the pulleys firmly enough. Instead, as it tries to drive those components, it slides and makes that ear-piercing sound. It's very distinct, so when you hear it, have the belt inspected right away. Continued operation with a slipping belt will just make matters worse. 2. Visible damage. Simply take a look at the condition of your vehicle's serpentine belt. Check for obvious signs of wear, like cracked rubber, missing chunks creating frayed edges, excessive glazing, or peeling surfaces. If you spot such visible damage, that belt has clearly reached the end of its functional lifespan. Any further use risks snapped ribs or complete belt failure, so replace it immediately. 3. Power loss. Since that single belt powers your alternator, power steering, AC compressor, water pump, and more, a problem can soon make itself known system-wide. Failures like dimming headlights, dying battery, loss of power assist in the steering, or warm air from the vents are all possible with a bad belt. The root of those issues stems from components not receiving adequate rotational force. So if your vehicle exhibits drivability gremlins or electrical quirks, thoroughly examine the belt. 4. Engine overheating. As I mentioned earlier, the serpentine belt commonly drives the water pump to maintain coolant flow. So if your engine starts overheating mysteriously, the belt could be to blame. Perhaps it partially melted or lost some ribs, reducing coolant circulation ability. Or maybe it's just loose and slipping on the water pump pulley. In any case, overheating plus a bad belt equals a recipe for catastrophic engine damage via blown head gaskets or warped cylinders. Replace that belt pronto. 5. Battery warning. Light modern vehicles have a battery warning light built right into the instrument cluster that illuminates if the charging system drops below acceptable levels. The charging system, of course, depends on your alternator, which in turn relies on the serpentine belt to spin it. See the connection? If that warning light comes on suddenly, it could certainly indicate belt trouble resulting in poor alternator function. 6. Unusual vibrations. As serpentine belts wear thin, chunks go missing, or the rubber loses elasticity, the belt may begin to vibrate intensely over the various pulleys. This vibration reverberates through the assemblies and into the engine block. You'll notice these vibrations through the steering wheel or floor pan. It may come and go at different speeds. 7. AC problems. Since the AC compressor sits in the path of the serpentine belt, issues with the air conditioning system can be an indicator of underlying belt trouble. For example, if you turn on the AC on a hot day and get only marginal cooling or even warm air, the compressor may not be spinning fast enough. The culprit could be a stretched out or oil-saturated belt that simply lacks enough friction to drive the compressor.